Michael Swartz, 122 North Catherine Street. I'm just going to keep it quick. I did just have a quick question with Ms. Whelan and Ms. Richard already brought up. Just out of curiosity, I was wondering why the borough washed their hands of all the other ball fields in Middletown. Like why Middletown, the borough used to take care of those ball fields to get them ready for the spring season. Why don't we do that anymore?
I don't believe the borough has washed their hands of the other fields.
No, they pretty much have, because I'm one of the coaches, and we were down there today trying to hold practice and trying to plow the field and trying to rake it, and because the borough no longer does it. This is what I was told by the MABA.
I'm not aware of that. We're still mowing the lawns and things.
Well, mowing the lawns is one thing, but I mean, like actually going down and tilling and getting the grass off the baselines and things like that. Like I said, we were down there today with our own equipment doing it, during practice, because we were told that the borough no longer does it.
Well, if you paid it, over the last couple of years, the operations of the borough have changed, right? We're not charging 22 cents or whatever. We're not charging abundant electric rates to bring in money so that we can have dozens and dozens of people on the public works staff. We have a very, very bare minimum public works staff, and so we have to allocate those resources accordingly. And at the same time, there's going to have to be a little bit of cooperation between the borough organizations and the borough staff to get things done. So, that's where we're at. We're at the beginning of that whole process, and it's going to be bumpy until it gets worked out again.
Has Mr. McGlone?
We've been talking with Mr. McGlone. We've been talking with Mr. Chamel. I mean, we're dealing with all of them on a daily basis.
So it's fair to say that you're working with them.
We are working with them, absolutely. I mean,
just to ask you a question now, in working with them, from what I understand from the head coach of my team, is that I guess we asked to, see how he said it, if he asked to use borough equipment, or something to that effect, to borrow it or whatever, to work hand in hand with the borough, and it was denied.
well,
I could understand in a sense, it's borough equipment and whatnot, but again, with you just saying about working,
I'm not aware of that specific. I'm not aware of that specific decision. If that was something that happened between one of our public works employees or possibly the superintendent, I can see any number of reasons why we wouldn't let non-borough employees use our equipment for liability and insurance. So I mean, obviously we're going to have to find a way for that to work out.
The other question would be, two-part question. First part would be, why wasn't the MABA consulted with what actually needed done with Oak Hills rather than the dugouts, with say the drainage and things like that? Second part being, if $42,000 or $43,000 was spent on Oak Hills, then why couldn't part of that money be allocated to the other fields?
Last year the Borough Council allocated $10,000 to the MABA. They spent about $4,800 of it. There's still some left. They had some ideas of what they wanted to do. It's not like we have not offered our support to the MABA. At the end of the day, the borough owns the facilities, and at the end of the day, the council makes a decision.
Well, that's part of my question: is why did the council make a decision for $43,000 to spend on one field rather than finding out what needed done with the field and then allocating the money appropriately to handle the rest of the fields?
That's another question that I can.
Okay. That was pretty much it. Thank you.
Is there a way to get a breakdown of the cost of the $43,000? What it was spent on?
Actually, it's always
We've already, and the final numbers aren't in yet, but we've already reduced it by at least $7,000. So the cost of the project is already somewhere in the neighborhood of $35,000. I don't know what the cost is. What was that?
Will we at some point see a breakdown on how that was